You're okay.
Yeah.
Using my photo. I was like, no. There we go. Hey, Mike. I was. There we go. Basil. All right. Everybody likes basil.
Depends on after.
And then speaking directors, they want theirs taken?
How's it going?
If Gino wants it, but I doubt it. And then we'll do a group photo at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
She said go on.
Hey there. Excited.
I almost wore a shirt that exact color.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it was bland there. No, we'll go with black.
And then we would have looked like we planned it.
Yeah.
Danielle.
Oh.
She's sitting down.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if she had it.
These meetings.
Hi. Grace. Took a break from studying.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
Hi.
We're gonna do it just on the wall or by the
Yep,
side?
over by the side, over there.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello. He's gonna hold it in the photo.
What if they
It'll show up well.
Would you like yours now or after? Now.
I can't do it either.
What are we doing here? But like last time, some of us were like this far away, like yeah, to Zach. Let's see if I got you kind of tech.
How are you? You're here for? Oh, very kind, very good. Okay, sir, how are you doing? Hi, Tom. Hi, Melissa.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, that's
But I just ordered cards.
But I said I didn't want this.
But you never gave me. It's fine.
I mean, actually, it came in the drawer. It's good.
Feel like my weather. Scott, does my black match or no?
Black goes with everything.
That's what I was
No, it
told.
doesn't. Heather, he's wearing brown shoes. See, Heather's I said he needs to get like a leather watch band, like a black.
Put black shoes.
But black shoes with a blue touch, that's a crime. That's a crime.
See, I'm the same way. Scott tells me not to wear black shoes with blue shoes. That's great. My gray suit, I should wear black shoes.
Yes.
He's over there shaking his head.
But you can wear brown with gray. But you can't wear black with.
It's complicated to get used to.
Why?
Make you,
Because it just is more appealing to the eye. Black and blue. Okay. Looks like a ruse.
looks like it's
No,
used.
no.
How you doing, young man? I think I know who you're here for. Yep. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Okay, how are you?
You cleaned up still.
Hi, how are you? Natalie.
Hi, how are you? Good.
I was never
You read about last night. I'm like, no, it's the holiday. Okay, switch pairs. That works. Oh, where are we doing it?
right there. That's why they're
No.
Between them? Where is it?
Down there. We can take it down.
Oh, when you guys go?
We are.
Oh. That sounds so cool. Is she gonna go to the eye?
Yeah, here she
Oh. Okay. I don't know. Might as well. Oh, you ready? Yeah. Well, close up? No. Don't worry. I'll be kind of far away.
I know it did say hello to you.
That's okay, I got the creeping grow. Okay.
Oh, that works. Yeah. Perfect. You're just gonna get. I don't know what else to do about that.
Also welcome to sit one of the photos.
Okay. I'll just go with that.
My son.
Oh, you're trying, yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, okay. Who did we? When we went over to that? Just that mom.
We can't do it now.
Brian Hill, our water department. We are so thrilled
I know.
that the federal EPA decided to like us do this.
Oh, I bet you are. I'm sure you'll get 17,000. Be lucky to get 5.
They told us, we sort of knew this was coming 3 years ago, and we've been collecting. We already have 5,000. And total, we have 9,000 addresses we service. So we're a little over half already. So now we're at the point where we need help to get across the finish.
So you're at half with all the questions that are on that form? Copper, lead?
Well, that's all we're after is a copper, is a lead.
Right, but I mean, those 5,000 answered those questions.
Yeah, most of them we were in the house to replace a water meter or inspecting something else or redid the lateral. Like Valley Drive, when we redid the water line, we redid everybody's lateral. So we know it's all copper because we did it, right? So we're getting there, but it's gonna be fun. And I'm sure there'll be people who refuse to do it, and then we'll show them on the door, and they'll still refuse, and then we'll have to dig a hole in their front yard, and then they'll upset at us about.
See what is what the
Yeah.
Go right ahead. I like that. Yeah, that's happening.
I ordered 4. Well, my wife ordered 20. That was the minimum order. So she's like, sell the rest of them and give me my money back. Some Etsy store. Yeah.
Etsy, everything's on Etsy.
Yeah.
That's
How's the baby? What time do you have? You could be about 3 minutes? 2 minutes? What'd you say?
it's not my meeting, it's the meeting.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It's timely. Really?
No.
He called me.
From what?
A couple seats out front.
Yeah. Is he okay?
Like he's fine, he cleared it.
It was one of those like gut, it was like one of the like hit your gut though. You know how like you get your spot and like the pain is so immediate?
So you woke up, like, he was saying, they woke him up. No, I didn't.
Right.
And he was looking around, he's like, oh, I'm like, so. But he might be a little late for it. Not at all. But I think
Do we all silence our cell phones? We probably put that sign up. I'm not sure.
This is a little bit enough. Like it's,
Right. That's not it.
you're right. It's
Say that though.
yeah, but there's no sense.
Wait, hold on. He's walking in right now.
Okay.
This is the line of demarcation right here. Drew watched The Office. Dwight visit this.
You take things really well. You can save that.
It's the no name council.
I don't know what committee they're on yet. Put a committee under their name.
Genie's coming right now. He had a slight medical issue this afternoon when he's on the road. He's coming in.
She's like, Kurt, do you want to do it?
He's okay.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary.
you ever watched the movie
He's walking.
Moonstruck?
I think so.
At the end, where they said, somebody tell a joke,
Do you know what Brad did
when
before?
they're all at the dinner
Do you know
table.
Brad's career?
Why?
What?
That was not an
train
invitation.
No, he wasn't.
Don't insult me.
No, he wasn't.
Tell them the movie.
Really?
He's the big guy. That's why he wears the shirt.
That's awesome.
I had to ask him about his shirt.
It was a job.
It was a job. 50 years.
Yeah. Ready to go. All right. Well, welcome and thank you for attending the first session of the 92nd Council for the City of North Canton. By way of introduction, I'm Mayor Steve Wilder, and I welcome all of you. This is the organizational meeting of Council and the office of the Mayor who have been elected to terms of office commencing December 1, 2023 through November 31, 2025. Our first order of business is the administration of the oaths of office for the Mayor and City Council. We are pleased to have the Honorable Mary A. Falvey, Judge, Canton Municipal Court, who has served with excellence for our greater Stark County community since 1991, and she will be performing the oaths of office. So Judge Falvey, on behalf of myself, City Council, and City Administration, we would like to thank you for volunteering your services and taking the time out of your busy schedule to administer the oaths of office for the office of Mayor and City Council members. So, Your Honor, will you please come forward and conduct the oaths of office?
Yes, I guess I'm to go to the podium.
Please conduct yourself to the podium for the oaths of office.
All right, Mayor, I'm going to have you stand and raise your right hand. It has been ordered by the will of the people of the City of North Canton that you be sworn in as Mayor of the City of North Canton, Ohio. The people now ask that you make an oath of office to affirm your duties and responsibilities. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Stephen B. Wilder,
I, Stephen B. Wilder,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United
to
States,
support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the ordinances and resolutions of of the City of North Canton, Ohio,
and the ordinances and resolutions of the City of North Canton, Ohio,
to faithfully, honestly, and impartially
to faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of the Mayor of the City of North Canton,
of the office of the Mayor for the City of North Canton,
and this I do
and this I do
as I shall answer unto God.
as I shall answer unto God. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Next order of business will be for City Council members. Thank you, Judge.
All right, I'm going to ask the City Council members to stand, and I'll swear you in all at the same time. It has been ordered by the will of the people of the City of North Canton that you be sworn in as the Council of the City of North Canton, Ohio. The people now ask that you make an oath of office to affirm your duties and responsibilities. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then state your name,
I,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the ordinances and resolutions
and the ordinances and resolutions
of the City of North Canton, Ohio,
of the City of North Canton, Ohio,
and to faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of council member
of the office of council member
of the City of North Canton, Ohio.
of the City of North Canton, Ohio.
And this I do
And this I do
as I shall answer unto God.
as I shall answer unto God.
Congratulations.
Judge Falvey, thank you again for doing the honor.
Thank you thank you for inviting me again. It has been an honor.
You're welcome. I know you have another appointment to go to, so we will not hold you to the order of business, okay?
Well, and to enjoy the new term, and I hope it's peaceful and productive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I also want to, again, thank all the guests that are here today, and especially Judge Warren, who is also a member of Canton Municipal Court, joining us. My pastor is here with his wife Melissa, and my brother-in-law and my sister. And I know you all have other family members here, so I took the honors to introduce mine. We can talk about yours later, okay? So here we go. I now call to order the organizational meeting of the first session of this 92nd Council of the City of North Canton, Ohio, on December 1, 2023 at 5 p.m. as we started. Please stand with me as I present the opening prayer, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand. Thank you. Let us pray for the Holy Spirit, each in our own way, for the opportunity to be here tonight. Let us give thanks for every seat that has been filled here tonight, and for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you, O Lord. And Lord, only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions to better our community. We have talents, abilities, and time to do the work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning and every project, every season, and every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Thank you, each of you, thank your Holy Spirit for entering our lives to be the best that we can be. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Ben, will you please call the roll?
Member Orr?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Schroyer?
Here.
Member Warren?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
7 present.
7 present. Thank you. Council shall elect from among its members one individual to serve as president of City Council. And to be elected, a member must receive 4 votes. At this time, the floor is open to nominations for president of City Council.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Matthew Stroya for the office of president.
Second. And I move that the nominations be closed.
Second.
You're ahead of me on the script.
Well, it is holiday season.
Our city government does move a little faster than the federal government. Okay, so, Mr. Stroya, do you accept the nomination to serve as president of City Council?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Seeing none, and the floor is closed to further nominations, as motioned and seconded. Clerk, at this time, will you please conduct a ballot by roll call vote for Matthew Stroya to be as council president?
Member Matheny?
Yes.
Member Wyrick?
Yes.
Member McLeister?
Yes.
Member Warren?
Yes.
Member Schroyer?
Yes.
Member Owens?
Yes.
Member Orr?
Yes.
7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Clerk, please certify that into the records that the name of Matthew Stroya is hereby elected as president of City Council by 7 votes.
Okay, my turn. I'll take over. Thank
Matthew
you, Ben.
Stroya, and that guild control
Take over.
of council to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The gavel and the wooden block.
All right.
It's back.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. At this time, the floor is open for nominations for vice president of council. I'd like to nominate Stephanie Warren.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Not how this
Yeah,
works.
sorry. Yep, I'm skipping that as well. Any further nominations?
Well, you need to ask Stephanie if she accepts.
Oh, do you accept it?
I do.
Okay. Any further nominations? Okay. I move that the floor is closed for nominations.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Clerk, at this time, will you please conduct a ballot by roll call?
Member Orr,
Yes.
Member Owens,
Yes.
Member Shroya,
Yes.
Member Waring,
Yes?
Member McLeister,
Yes.
Member Wyrick,
Yes.
Member Matheny.
Yes.
7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Okay, clerk, would you please certify that Stephanie Warren is hereby elected Vice President of the Council? Okay. Moving on, we will now establish the rules of council for the 2024 legislative year. We will start with the rules in place at the conclusion of the previous council as the baseline for our conversation, and the floor is now open for potential amendments.
President Stroya?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to look at the Rule 40 and those where it talks about the length of time that individuals can speak. And I would like to move that to 5 minutes instead of 3, to make sure that that's consistent.
Second.
Well, to be clear, it's currently at 5 minutes,
Yes,
so no amendment is needed to keep it where it is.
I understand that.
Did it say
Okay.
3 somewhere?
It
One of
does
the
in the.
proposals.
it
Oh,
does.
okay.
One of the proposals, yeah.
I agree also with that, and I think in talking to a lot of constituents, they wanted it they wanted it 5 minutes. And it's the least we can do in hearing our constituents and keeping it 5 minutes.
I agree.
Yep.
As we discuss this too, would council consider a public speaks at committee meetings where we're looking at having a discussion for something to move to the agenda, to allow residents to speak at that time when there's conversation going on in that meeting to discuss it, in case there's a question that maybe we didn't ask, but the members were. What are your thoughts?
That's tough. I mean, I think I have mixed views on that. I think the whole purpose of committee is to discuss it, to then put on the floor, and then get public feedback.
Yeah.
Because a lot changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
always
it's-
baked when we discuss it in committee,
Yeah.
so.
So I mean,
We should
I'm not
think of it.
necessarily opposed to that, but so I mean, in preparation for this, I think I watched maybe in between 10 and 13 different meetings. I've never seen it
And committee.
run that way. I've never seen that run that way, but I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know how the structure and how it would affect the legislation. I mean, I think what we're doing, and hopefully what we all agree on in consensus tonight, is that we're going to give the public the feedback during the regular meetings, where that's the legislation part, where you know, you can still make amendments. That's tough. I'd have to think about that personally. I mean, everybody has equal input, obviously, but
I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, I think, because I think sometimes the public thinks whenever we move something from committee to the agenda, that means we're all a yes vote once it hits the agenda. And so I think there's just some education that needs to be done there.
I mean, they theoretically have 3 times to speak. So that is a lot of times to speak on legislation.
Right.
And so to add to that, without some of the facts that are initially in committee, I think it's not giving them all the information beforehand, and then I think we become redundant. We've already had issues with redundancy, I think, at committee meetings, so.
Yeah, I think I would like to just see it stay at council
Yeah.
meetings, so. But along
With
with
these
that,
new formats,
I'm sorry?
with some of these new formats.
Yeah, with some of these new formats, I'm also open to the thought of having an open topic discussion at each meeting as opposed to just the first Monday of each month. So I'm curious what you all.
I agree, 100%.
I'm good with
Talking
that.
about that at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
that's, I agree.
You know,
I-
following these
yeah.
rules and formats that are laid out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
What
I
you said,
agree.
you said a key thing, educate our voters really need to be educated out there. They need to know what we can or cannot do. And many, many, many don't.
No.
You know, it's a shame. So we will have to do a better job of communicating and educating. And that's on all of us.
Well, I think
Well-
some of these changes to the rules, just being able to respond when we're addressed
Yes.
will be really helpful.
Well, some of that is nice too, because there may be misinformation, and then we're able to say, no, this is actually what's happening. And then I think in this, if I read correctly, the open portion will be at the end of the meeting. So that gives you the ability, if you wanna come halfway through the meeting, and then come, if you're listening online, and say, hey, I wanna get to the meeting, I wanna ask them this question. I understand, but that does give people then afterwards, we're up here, they can keep continuing the conversation.
There's a little phrase that I don't like on this that I would like to change. In the number 2 part where it says make general statements. I don't want to have to ask something in the form of a question like Jeopardy to a constituent. I just want to say what's on my, I mean, the whole
Wait, so
point.
where are you?
So right here,
Okay.
it says, so,
Speeches, like general
not give
statements.
speeches, I'm fine. I don't think there's any need for council to give a speech in response to a constituent. I think that's ridiculous. But to make a general statement would be kind of common in
Yeah.
every meeting I've ever seen where there's an exchange of information, that people say general statements.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of silly too. So I'd like to strike that. And then on 38, or just, I guess it can be on anywhere, in the structure of this, the public would have a choice to speak at the beginning of the meeting, not at the beginning, but in the placement of, after roll call, in consideration, in the recognition of public section that would be on G in that format. That would be agenda only. And then they could pick or choose. They could speak on the agenda, or they could speak at the end for any topic. So it's not both. You don't have a choice to speak for 10 minutes. You
Right.
have 5 minutes either on the agenda or any topic. So that's I'd like that to be clear in the rules that we write.
Can I ask you a question? On the first page in 2, it says that council members are only allowed to ask a question. So if someone gets up there and speaks and then we're only allowed to ask questions, we aren't allowed to make that, is that what you're talking
Well,
about
we
with
That's the general statement. That's why I
So
wanted to
somebody
get
could
rid of it.
say, you know, you clean the streets only 5 days, and we're like, no, actually, we cleaned them 7.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be, or, you know, then you'd have to play the game
Yeah, no,
of what it do, you know,
No.
to form it into a question to say, like Jeopardy.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense. Yeah. So in this, you'd have a sign-in sheet. I don't care what's on the sign-in sheet. The sign-in sheet is common. For one, you have more order on, instead of waiting for somebody to come up and speak, we already know that you're going to speak. So we don't have to play the game of anyone else wishing to speak, and some people are kind of like,
It helps
Yeah.
things move along.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, and the spelling of a name is gonna be given to the court reporter
It makes it easier.
accurately, so you don't have to go back. And it's not to delay anything, but it does provide more order.
One suggestion that I received from a constituent is just making sure that we have that clipboard, or some sort of a clipboard, put in a conspicuous location. The suggestion was made right at the podium, as opposed to having to come up here and talk to the clerk.
what
I
about
think
if it's
we-
right when they sign in with the police?
Oh, they could do that either.
Yeah,
way.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
We also, I think we should consider being just a little lenient on that for maybe the first meeting or two,
Yes.
just as people, are getting used to the new rules.
Absolutely, and we can always make a motion to suspend the rule on that or something
Sure.
to, you know, if, yeah, I think we need to be more accepting.
Yep.
It's a change and the public's not gonna be used to it,
Right.
Yeah,
right?
So they are still gonna go up to the podium
yes.
and say their name,
Yes,
say their address.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
You don't think any redundance in that by signing in and that will be, any issues.
Well,
I didn't see
I
anything,
mean,
I didn't see anything
No.
wrong with how
Yeah.
it was.
the public won't hear the name if it's just written, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be good to have it stated for the record as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it's
unless the
not-
clerk reads it.
If it's not stated by somebody, whether the
Right.
president reads it or
Right.
I read it or they
Yeah.
read it, it won't
Yeah.
be in the minutes.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
So, yeah. Yeah. Any other questions or comments or anything? And Dave, I'm not dismissing what you said. I think I think we need to consider that. And I think we should consider changes throughout the year as well.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to open up the
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
on that, to get others' thoughts on committee meeting, public speaking.
Yep.
We changed some of that. Anyway, it might not matter.
Well, that's true too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
May I lead you through motions to
Yes.
accomplish all of this?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I would like to start with number 2 on your proposal sheets. So, if I understand your discussion correctly, we want a motion to establish the new proposed rule as written with 2 changes. First, striking the phrase "make general statements," and second, adding to the end of the third sentence, which is comments from city officials, starts comments from city officials. You'd like to add to the end of that sentence, limited only to posing questions to the speakers or making clarifying statements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sounds
that
good.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I can do it on screen.
Oh, look at that.
And then and then we keep Rule 40, the proposed Rule 40 as well.
Yes.
Is that an accurate representation of your discussion?
Yes.
And remember when we talked about length of time, it's remaining at 5 minutes for Rule 37, so.
One motion at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so in Rule 40 where it says speakers 5 minutes, it'll stay saying speakers 5
Yeah.
minutes. Does anybody want to make that motion to adopt number 2 as now written on the screen?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
On that public speaks, are you still gonna go over the rules of that beforehand, or?
How he speaks at the beginning?
Yeah.
I think that's
Or-
nice.
Or
Yeah.
would you like to, as the speakers come up, remind them of what the rules are?
We could do both.
We would only,
Yeah, I'd like to have,
because we only have 3, 4 speakers at most meetings.
right.
Yeah, but there's times where we've
Yeah.
had new folks. I think it still needs to be said at every.
I think we could have a cheat sheet too, next to the legislation that sits up there.
We always did
Everybody,
before, I think.
Yeah.
So that would be nice, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Make it very clear.
Okay, so then the second change, I believe, would be if we go to number 3 on your sheets, to amend Rule 25 to make 2 recognitions of the public. One roughly at the top of the meeting for agenda items, and
Mhm.
one roughly at the end of the meeting for open topics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody want to make that motion?
Well, they can't talk at both, correct?
Correct.
I will get to that.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason I'm doing them in this order.
All right.
All right.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ben.
Okay, so now that we've amended Rule 25, if you go to number 1 on your sheets, my understanding is you all would like this as written, and yes, to Jamie, I can absolutely put it on the podium, and then 5 minutes before the meeting starts, I'll walk up and get it and say, anybody else want to sign up, last call.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But you would like added to this sign-up rule that you may only sign up for either Section G or Section J, not both.
That's perfect, yeah.
And on that sheet, will they tell which one they're gonna talk at?
You need
It'll be like
to.
a checkbox
Yeah,
or
good
something.
idea.
Okay.
That's good.
Thanks, Mayor. Mid-public.
Mhm.
What about splitting your time? Half it in one section.
President Stroy,
Yes,
may I ask a question?
sure, of course.
Just looking at item J, recognition of public, general topic, do we have are we going to give any parameters as what the general topic is? I hate to throw that out there to you, but is it going to be something generated for strictly
I think usually
governmental business?
We will get
the
to that
phrases,
with the
yeah.
next one.
Thank you very much.
But I think it's usually under the council, or under the city's authority.
Yeah.
I see it's on number 4.
Is there any way, let's suppose someone comes up and they wanna spend half their time on the first part and half their time on the last part, is that allowed?
I mean, the way I look at it is if you do it in the second section, you don't talk about anything.
So they could,
So
Okay,
if you don't
that
know what
makes
you're
sense.
gonna choose, then you would just speak
be open.
on the open
Mhm.
topic.
Open
That's
topic.
open to
okay,
anything.
just,
Also might get too confusing to say,
Right.
okay, well, this
Yeah.
Just trying to
person
clarify,
spoke
yeah.
for 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Right.
You gotta remember,
No.
you know, do some fast math.
so they would just
I
speak
don't
in
wanna
a
get
second.
into the
No.
federal stuff of
Yeah.
banking my time for
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Okay, is everybody happy with the 2 sentences as drafted on the screen? To add about, you may only pick one.
Yes.
That looks good.
Okay. Then would anybody like to make a motion to adopt this new rule?
So moved as changed.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then lastly, for 38, we wanna sort of split the current Rule 38 into, so our first sentence would be 4 members of the public speaking during the first recognition of the public, comma. So for members of the public speaking during the first recognition of the public, each speaker's comments shall be limited to discussion of legislative items on council's agenda for that particular council meeting. This may include items previously postponed from a prior council meeting that remain unresolved.
Yes.
Then instead of this additionally, we want to replace this additionally phrased with for members of the public speaking during the second recognition of the public, speakers may speak on any topic or subject that would reasonably be under the authority of the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make the motion for those changes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Nope. Next page, I think.
Now, collectively, do we need to establish the rules as a whole, or is that okay that we went through every individual one?
So now you need to do the after all changes. A motion and second to adopt rules of council as enacted by the previous council as amended here too.
Okay. I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, those are our new rules. All right. Okay, so at this time, wait, is that 10? Did I
Yep,
skip
you're
ahead?
at 10.
Okay.
Nope.
At this time, the floor is now open to nominations for the civil service. Council may make one appointment for a term of 6 years. Are there any nominations? Civil service.
We can bring this back later.
It's-
You
Yeah.
don't have
Bring it
anyone
back.
now, but it must be done before January 1st.
Okay.
Let's bring it back.
Okay, we will bring it back. Okay, so moving on, at this time, the floor will be open to nominations for the Board of Income Tax Review. Council must make 2 appointments for terms of 2 years. Nominees must be electors in the city who hold no employment or contract with the city. So I would like to nominate.
Before
Oh, go ahead.
we begin,
Yeah.
we did have one application, but
Okay.
Member Matheny will need to recuse himself
Yes.
from this discussion if you'd like to consider that application.
That is who I was going to nominate, is Grace Matheny.
So you'll need to go to our lovely back room.
I can't even smile at her.
That's right. Yeah. Remain stoic.
So you've nominated her?
Yes.
Can I second that nomination?
Okay. Do we need to do a roll call here? Yes, we do. We do.
Well, does anybody have
Oh,
you
do
need
a second.
2, so does
Okay.
anybody have anybody
Yeah.
else?
John, you said you might have a second.
Yeah, Zach Fetman, you might remember Zach
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
committee,
Yep.
or he was on the
Okay.
charter committee.
Yep. I will second that.
Okay.
Okay, now can we do the roll call vote of the approval? Okay.
When I call your name, you need to tell me the 2 names you are voting for. Okay? Member Orr.
Zach Fetman and Mrs. Matheny. Yes.
Member Owen.
Zach Putman and Grace Matheny.
Member Shroya.
Zach Fetman and Grace Matheny.
Member Warren.
Zach Fetman and Grace Matheny.
Member McLeaster.
I would like to vote for Grace Matheny and Zach Fetman.
You wrote it down.
Member Wyrick.
Grace Matheny and Zach Bettman.
6 votes each for Grace Matheny and Zach Fett.
Okay. Okay, so Grace Matheny and Zach Fetman are hereby appointed to the Board of Income Tax Review with 6 votes. Okay. What did I skip over?
And see.
Yeah, okay. At this time, floor is now open to council representative to the Planning Commission for 2024. Nominees must be members of council. So this is for the Planning Commission. I currently serve that. I'm not going to nominate myself, but I don't mind doing it.
Would you like to continue doing it?
If you nominate me,
So
I'll decide.
I would like to nominate, I'll nominate Matthew Stroya as council's representative to Planning Commission for 2024.
Are there any other nominations?
No.
Okay. Now, as when I accept it, yeah, I'll accept that nomination. So,
You can just do, is there a motion and a second
yeah,
to appoint?
it's okay. Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Matthew Stroy is hereby appointed as council representative to the Planning Commission with 7 votes. Okay, at this time, the nomination is open for the council representative for the ZBOA for 2024. Nominees must be members of the council.
Mr. Stroya, would you like to go for 2 for 2? Or?
If anybody else would like to do it,
Jamie, do you want to?
yeah,
Being on that?
it's up to you
It
guys.
doesn't matter. I can do it.
Yeah, I don't oppose doing it, but I invite somebody else to do it. As well.
Because what were you before?
I was the chairman of the Planning Commission.
Planning, okay, yeah.
So,
Well, this will be kind of like.
there you go. Okay.
All right. I mean, John, do you want to? You had mentioned before. You
Yeah, it
might have.
doesn't
Okay.
matter.
It-
You wanna
it's-
do it, or-
it's
6
up to
one,
you
half dozen
guys.
the other.
Okay.
You guys decide.
Yeah, you guys decide that. Fight
You
it
tell
out.
me, do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
All
Okay.
right, John?
I'll join you at the meetings, so. I had
I'll be there
resisted
too.
doing either of these in the past, just because of my past chairmanship,
Yeah.
I didn't want to have any
Yeah.
undue influence, so, but I'll go with you.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
So is there
So I nominate John, what is wrong with me tonight?
John Orr for
What is wrong with me tonight?
I second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, do you need to do a roll call vote here?
We don't have to.
Oh, we don't, okay.
You can if you want.
John Orr is hereby appointed to the council, as the council representative to the zoning board of appeals with 7 votes. Okay. All right, moving on to the calendar here. Okay, we will now establish the calendar for the 2024 legislative year. Are there any requested changes to the calendar? There's going to be, because if you look at the calendar, now we've added public speaks to every regular council meeting. Okay.
Open
So we're looking at pretty much just the dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it as if the rules stayed the same,
Right.
because I didn't know what you were all.
I
Is it-
saw another
Yeah,
issue.
sure.
Election day is not on a Monday.
No.
We had a meeting this year,
We did?
day before election.
I think sometimes we haven't, in case people are campaigning or running for things or helping others, putting up signs and going to locations.
Well, that's, it's kind of late to be putting up signs the day of the election.
No, because,
Taking it down.
no, because you would be going to
Well-
the places to put up the
Oh,
signs.
okay.
Mhm.
All the voting locations.
Is this venue booked for,
Yeah,
Voting,
it'll
or
be a
it's-
polling place again
okay.
next year.
So, we did it last year, we should probably do it this year.
I think it's fine.
I think,
Mondays.
yeah, the only thing I
it's
can think
fine
of
when it
is, yeah, I'm okay with what it, because I think last year,
If we need to have it, we
they
can
didn't have it, or this year, they didn't have it here.
Yeah, we had election here.
It was here?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
it was here.
live over here. All right.
I'm fine with
I
what
mean,
it is. We can
whatever
always
you
add
guys-
to it if we
Yeah,
need to.
that's true.
Yeah, let's leave it.
Okay. Anything else that you guys see here that needs to be changed? I mean, we can always add, we will, we always
Yeah, we
do.
add
Yeah.
and subtract.
What was I looking at?
Looks good.
How
Move.
about we come back on the 5th and we take off on the 8th of July? Because that's the 4th of July, afterwards and stuff, and I think that would be,
You say come back on, say that again?
we would leave council, we wouldn't have council on July 8th, okay? And then we would come back August 12th.
I think we have to have 2 meetings.
You have to have one
every
meeting a
month.
month.
Yeah, we have 2
We
in
do?
July.
You have to
Yeah.
have one every
One.
month is the charter requirement.
Mhm.
And it must be a regular council.
We
So
could always-
committee does not count for the charter requirement.
And at that point, we might be able to switch those around and have one on the first, and depending on where
Yeah.
our business is.
Potentially.
We could double
combine
up
those
that
two.
first.
Yeah. Because a lot of us do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that travel around
Yeah.
that time. Okay,
So we can leave it unaddressed.
so yeah, we can leave that, but that's a good note to put on here. Okay. Anything else that you guys see here, people, everybody?
Looks good.
All right, okay. Kind of a motion and second to adopt the 2024 legislative calendar as submitted / amended.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Okay, if you do want a different committee preference, you're welcome to submit it via writing. That will be decided by December 4th. That being said, any other comments or anything? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourn.
Can we get one group photo of all of us?
Yes, don't leave. We do need a group photo.
Are we doing it right here?
We'll do it in front of the table.
Oh, okay.
Would you like me to sign this in blue pen?
Thanks for coming, Brad.
If you want to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Why didn't
Thank
I
you,
just
I
'cause it
appreciate
matches?
that. Thanks, Brad.
At least thought that was like you had a baby at home, yeah.
Well, that solves the problem.
Yeah. Brother, are you okay? We did this real quick. I gotta go. Kurt, will you get a picture too? You guys can go.
Jamie, you still need your individual picture? Stephanie, did you get your individual picture?
Yeah.